Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 424 of the No Sugarcoating Podcast. How are you wherever you are in the world? We're celebrating because it's my birthday month. It's my birthday tomorrow, Monday, July 10th. If you're listening on Monday, celebrate with me. Another year around the sun. Oh my goodness. How is it? How's it another year around the sun? This year flew by. And this week, I want to talk about some of the experiences I've gone through this year, my learnings, because I feel like it's always great to share. Diving deeper into releasing control. Holy, has it been a year of that? Being more vulnerable, learning deeper trust and faith, surrender, like trusting the universe has my back. Like these have been big themes this year and continue to be. So I'm going to dive into all that, what this year has taught me. And of course, I am going to talk about the birthday sale because it started now and there's 50% off of everything in the online store. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can click the link below and go and shop 50% off. I'll talk about the code right away and it'll be in the description below and in the show notes as well at amberapproved.ca/podcast/424. But if you just go to amberapproved.ca and you click the banner on the homepage, it'll literally take you to the store and the code is there and you can just buy all the things that you want to help you on your journey to food and body freedom. So why don't we talk about that? So to celebrate my birthday, which is July 10th, this birthday week from July 9th to July 16th, I'm offering a savings of 50% off of everything in the online store. And there are many, many different things to choose from. Okay. So this isn't just one or two things. The online store, you're going to see that there is a variety of different things that you can shop and pick from. So essentially all of my paid masterclasses are 50% off, including things like releasing your weight loss blocks, the triggers emotional eating 3-part masterclass, understanding adrenal fatigue and cortisol, reducing inflammation, conquering your cravings. There's building body love and heal, which are more emotional mindset connections. And I'm giving you 50% off for my newest masterclass, which will drop the end of August, which is skin, right? Understanding the roots of your skin breakouts and acne, so you can have clear skin. That's going to be 3 parts and it's 50% off this week only. And there's one other new course that's going to come in October, Kick the Sugar. So if you have sugar cravings, if you feel like you're addicted to sugar, your blood sugar's all over the place and you feel like you just constantly are losing control with sugar, you can also get 50% off of Kick the Sugar, which will be a live top program coming early October, but you get access to 3 bonuses if you come in and sign up now. And of course, 50% off. So that program is only 111 USD and you get Boxer for 5 weeks with the group. It's going to be incredible. So all the details are going to be at amberapproved.ca. Just click that and go to the online program page, or you can go to amberapproved.ca/podcast/424 and click the birthday sale banner there. The code that you will use for all your purchases is all caps Amber36. Okay, so you have to use that code at checkout to get your 50% off. And you can use the code as many times as you like. You have to individually purchase things. It's just the way the store is set up. I honestly took time to research and see if I could have a store and add multiple things to the cart. And it literally would have cost me $5,000. And I'm like, no, it's easy for people to just add that. I didn't want to spend the money because sometimes when you're building all this back end stuff, to be honest, it costs a lot of money. And it's great to have all these things to offer. And it does cost. I'm like, okay, I want to be mindful with that. So code is Amber, all caps 36, all one word at checkout. And you have to enter that to get your 50% off. Also, all the self-study programs are 50% off. So for the Freedom from Emotional Eating 5-week program, Hormone Harmony Self-Study VIP, which includes 2 one-on-one sessions and a hormone test with me, is 50% off, and the Food Prep Magic Bundle. So there's all kinds of things that you can go and check out. The sale is from today until next Sunday at midnight Mountain Time. And one other cool thing I have to share, this is my birthday, I can share what I want, is that for each purchase you make, whether it's 1 or 10 or everything in between, you are going to get entered in to a draw to win a free 45-minute coaching session with me to get support with whatever you need. So each purchase counts as 1 entry. So if you buy 1 thing, you get 1 entry. If you buy 10 things, you get 10 entries, right? So, that will be announced after the sale is over, and I will pick a name and then I will contact you and we'll get to connect for 45 minutes and get support with whatever you want. Also, make sure that you are subscribed to the newsletter at amberapproved.ca. If you just go there, you scroll down a little bit, you can subscribe to the newsletter because I am going to be dropping 1 or 2 days where there's going to be an additional giveaway. And to get those details, you'll need to be subscribed to the newsletter. So just make sure that you are so that you get all those juicy details. So the birthday sale is live. You can go to amberapproved.ca, use the code Amber36, all caps. buy as many things as you want. Not that you have to, obviously only if you feel called, but this is like, I only do this once a year. This is the only week you're going to get 50% off of this stuff, which is, there's a lot of transformative and life-changing masterclasses, programs, and offers here. I know for some of you that have purchased these previously, you've given a lot of great feedback, and I'm so grateful for you. So enjoy. Also, just a friendly reminder before we dive into today's chat, that the one-on-one coaching savings is still going on this week. So there's 2 spots left for a savings of $1,000 off of a 6-month program and $2,000 off of a 1 year. So there's 2 spots left for that. If you desire to start with something smaller, like a 2 or 3 month intro program, those also have $1,000 savings. So you're getting a really good rate. So if you want to learn more about that, email me info@amberapproved.ca with the subject line coaching sale, and or book a 30-minute body freedom consultation. Just go to amberapproved.ca, click schedule a consultation, and you can take care of everything there, and that will secure your spot and the savings. So just wanted to give you a heads up on those things because it is the birthday sale. It is the birthday month coaching sale. And I want to make sure you've got all the details in case you are interested and you want to take advantage of it. I want to try and help make it easier for you to invest financially and get the support that you need. So here is your time and opportunity to do so. That's my long plug. Maybe some of you think I'm sounding salesy today, but I am running a business and it's my birthday and I want you to save, and it's so fun. And we're going to have so much fun this week, celebrating and saving money and getting all the beautiful programs and support to help you on your journey to food and body freedom. So thank you for listening. Let's dive right in. Okay. So this year has been a really vulnerable year for me, like a very expansive year, a very emotional year, a very uncomfortable year, to be honest with you. All good things, of course, and it's been I feel like I've grown a lot emotionally. And you think, oh yeah, I've like mastered my ego. And then the next layer, I'm just laughing because then the next layer of mastery comes along and you're like, oh, there's still more to do here, which is okay. So one of the things that I've really been working on this year, and that really came up just for my own personal attention, is control. And it's not really like of others. It's more in my ego mind of like wanting to control certain outcomes or circumstances because, as we know, what's usually below control is fear. And what's below fear is some level of insecurity, lack of trust, faith, belief, usually in ourselves or in the universe or both. And so, I feel like I've made so many changes in my business over the last year and a half. Learned so many different things from like coaches and different programs and things that I've gone into, and really come to my realization that there's so many different ways to run your business. There's so many different ways to like sell and be of service and to create content. And that it's really about me finding my own way, because I think for a while, for me anyway, when I first started my business, I'm like, oh, like I need the perfect mentor and like, they're going to help me take things to the next level. And like, it's like, it's me taking things to the next level. And the reason I bring this up is because I think we can get reliant on putting our fate into other people's hands. And now, yes, we invest and give people our money and hire them to help us because they have an expertise. It's like when women come to me to want to claim food and body freedom, 100%, right? So I'm assisting and helping and giving the guidance, but you're the ones who are showing up and taking away the tools, the support, and doing the work, right? But then you have the healing and then you have it for the rest of your life. But sometimes we can be like, oh my gosh, like I want to hire this person because they're thriving and I want to be where they are. And I think if I work with them, it'll just like change everything. And what I've come to realize with business is that that's not necessarily always the case. And sometimes, we can make dud investments that, don't end up being what you think they are, and you don't end up getting the support, the value, the shifts or whatever. Not everyone is amazing at what they do. Let's just put it that way. And so I've had some big learnings on that kind of stuff this year, and that it's so important for me to go inward and tap into my own intuition and make decisions from my intuition versus what others are doing. And that's been a huge learning for me this year. And I'm really seeing my clients doing that. I had a session earlier today with a lovely client, and she's like, I'm letting my gut feeling lead me. I'm letting my intuition lead me. Sometimes I want to get in my head and question it, but she's like, every time I let my intuition make the decision and I go with that, such great things happen. I'm like, exactly, because your intuition was forged out of love and it wants to lead you to amazing expansion, love, healing, all of those things. And I think sometimes we can get caught up on our heads and get really analytical, but then it shuts off the intuitive guidance. And so going back to the control piece, I think that there's been desire to try and have a certain level of control in my business. And what I've really come to realize is, yes, I can have control in the sense of I can show up, I can record my podcast, I can share vulnerability, I can coach my clients and like show up on social media and do collaborations and things like that. However, it's really important for me to stop trying to control where I think I should be, or of course, comparing to others and their success, comparing this year to last year, July 2023 to July 2022, like letting all of that go. Because what I find is when we start to compare, and this reminds me of my old body image issues that I used to have, where I'd compare my body to others. When you compare and you see someone with a body, they're like, their body looks better than mine, or like their business is more successful. You give your power away and you contract. And one of my things that I've really been working on this year and will continue to is really mastering my frequency, my energy field. And that really ties into the managing the mind, because when you want to manifest consistently and you want to be the manifesting magnet and the energetic match to what you want to manifest, what we need to understand is that our mindset, our beliefs, right? We're powerful manifestors, and where our energy goes, where our attention is. And maybe you want to write that down. I wrote that on a sticky note one day. Energy goes where our attention is. And so if you're focusing on things you don't want, you will manifest that more easily. If you're focusing on what you want, it does become easier to manifest it. And as we ascend on this planet, because the planet is going through an ascension, an increase in consciousness, albeit, some places you look and go, it doesn't really look like the consciousness increasing in this place or with these people, right? But don't judge. We're all on our soul journey. We all signed up to have the experiences we're having. I know easier said than done to believe some days, but it's true. But we are going through this ascension. We're increasing our frequency. Our bodies and DNA are upgrading. I want to do a whole updated episode on ascension. Maybe I'll record that next Sunday. We'll see if I feel like it, or that'll come sometime soon though. But I want to update you because there's so much going on energetically with the solar energy, with ascension symptoms, etc. And I think things are really like ramping up now in the world. And I think we're going to see a lot of big changes that will benefit humanity. But I think it's going to get pretty, interesting here over the next year or two, as this big shift happens, as the increase in consciousness happens on the planet. And really what it is people waking up to their power, their sovereignty, their truth, certain illusions we've been sold in the world, being willing to do our deeper healing, our deeper work, master our ego, and, be more loving and respectful to self and others. Like this is what ascension is all about. So obviously with this ascension, what's coming up for me? Letting go of more control, surrendering, working on trusting the universe more, trusting my intuition more. This is something that I have had such a back and forth with this year. And I think it is truly because there's a level of mastery with your energy, your frequency, and with your mindset in order to really manage a consistent frequency. It's never going to be perfect. We're going to have ebbs and flows with our frequency and our mood, and that's normal. We live on a dualistic planet, right? You have happy, sad, good, bad, light, dark, etc. However, I desire, and I've really been working on managing my energy more. I have a very robust energy hygiene clearing routine that I do. And it's funny because the beginning of June, I just got this download, and it's like, you need to clear energy like 5 days a week for the next 4 weeks. Energy is going to be intense, and it will help you ground. And obviously holding space for my clients, it's important for me to be grounded, right? And just in my life, my quality of life, my happiness, relationship, etc. So I find that's really been helping. And we've been getting outside more and literally just putting our feet in the grass and grounding into the earth, which is so important in nature, right? Lots of tapping and breath and somatic shaking and screaming into that darn pillow when you're feeling a lot of fear and stuff coming up, because some of this emotion, that I'm feeling, and I want to remind you of this if you're listening and you're sensitive and you're an empath, and some days you just feel like there's nothing actually wrong, but then you feel this big wave of fear or anxiety or worry or lack come over you. You may have things coming up that you've suppressed. Like a lot of the stuff I'm clearing now and releasing is actually from childhood, or is from like my teens that I suppressed when I was binge and emotional eating. And now it's coming up for release because I haven't been suppressing for years. Right. So I feel like a lot of what I'm releasing isn't current, but it's getting triggered because it's time for it to be cleared out of my body. And what's so fascinating is when I really diligently started working on, right, deeper levels of releasing lack and fear and worry around like money or success or, lack of faith or trust or being vulnerable, like I started releasing a lot of this through tapping and shaking and the sacred rage, which is like the beating up the pillow and screaming into the pillow, which is it's honestly such release. I feel so calm. My nervous system feels so calm afterward. My body just started to release protection. I just thought I was at my natural set point, and she's just like releasing more protection. And I didn't expect or push or try anything different other than I'm releasing this suppressed emotion and it's regulating my nervous system more. The other thing when you're sensitive and you're an empath and you really, you feel the energy is there's a lot going on in the collective right now. And it doesn't matter what your viewpoints are. We all have our beliefs and we all have the right to have the beliefs that we do. And I really believe that it's so important as we evolve as a species on this planet that we try not to judge others for their beliefs, because part of our evolution is to try to be on two different pages, but still respect each other. Obviously, there's certain things that if it's like really extreme, like wanting to do harm to humanity, like, no, I wouldn't be able to be supportive of that. But when you have someone who has a different political belief or belief of what happened with the pandemic the last 3 years, or about Hollywood or whatever it is, some of us are on different pages, and that's okay. But all of this is coming up because we're learning how to clear out judgment, to be more loving and compassionate, and that we can be on different pages and still have respect and love for each other. Right. And then there's people who are on the same pages and it feels easier. But I'm just bringing this up because when you're sensitive and you're an empath, and we're on this ascension on this planet and you're living your life, there can be a lot of energy floating around that isn't even yours. And so like this morning, I was feeling like, oh, I'm feeling kind of funky, but there's literally nothing wrong. What the heck? And so I sit down and I'm like, okay, I always ask myself, and you can do this too, because obviously everything I'm sharing is I'm sure some of you can relate to this, and please try and do what I'm doing if it feels resonant for you. If you have questions, reach out. If you want to work with me on this, by all means, the door is always open. But I sat down and I closed my eyes. I put my hand on my heart and I was just like, is what I'm feeling even mine? And I just got a no right away. Just when my body gives me a no, I contract a bit in my chest, or like my intuition's just like, no. It's very easy. You can also muscle test, right? And you can like hold your pointer finger and your middle finger and have your middle finger like push down on your pointer finger and go, first ask your name. Is my name Amber? I get a yes. Is my name Anna? I get a no, right? So you can ask your first name for your yes, and then ask something that isn't your name and you'll get a no. And usually you can push the finger down. So you can muscle test. I also have a pendulum that I use, and I'll be like, is this mine? And it will be like, no. And then I'll be like, is this the collective? And it'll be like, yeah. So there's many ways that you can tap in if you're still trying to work on getting those body yeses and nos intuitively. But my point here is that this morning I was like, okay, is what I'm feeling right now mine? And I got a big, loud no. So I'm feeling anxious, which I don't usually feel a lot of, but I'm feeling some anxiousness. I'm feeling some lack. I'm feeling some worry. And I'm like, this isn't even mine. I'm like, okay, this is the relief. So I just want to reassure you, sometimes when we're feeling all this ick emotion, it's not even ours. And that's why it's so important for us to actually tap in and ask, is this even mine? Because half the time it's not. And we're processing for the collective, whether it's the collective of your town, city, state, province, country, continent, or the whole world. Okay. We're not supposed to be processing for the collective. So once I clarified that, no, this is not mine, I'm like, okay, what is this? I'm like, I feel like I'm processing lack, anxiety, and worry about money from the collective, because I know there's a lot going on in the world with money, and there's all kinds of stories going on about like banking collapse, or, are we going to get a whole new currency? What is it going to look like? And I have all my thoughts on that. Maybe I'll share more of that one day, especially maybe on Rumble, because we don't get censored there. Anyways, I'm not worried. I think that it's all going to work out. But I think, humanity's got to go through a few things probably to evolve to get there. We'll see what happens. But it's just like, I feel this collective and I'm like, this isn't even mine. And so as soon as I got that it was not my stuff, it gives you relief. I'm like, okay, this isn't mine. Okay, good. I'm relieved. I didn't think it was, right? It just, sometimes it doesn't make any sense. So this is why I encourage you to just ask and tap in. Cause then from there, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to let this go. I already started to feel myself taking my power back because my ego's in the background nagging, like, blah, 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 right? All this stuff, like, you should do this and you should do that and you need to blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, no, thanks, ego, but no. So I went and I cleared energy, and then I screamed into my pillow, and then I just did a little bit of breath, and like the shift, like it happens so fast now. It only takes minutes or a couple hours versus like days or weeks before. So the more you get into these practices and you really get to know the tools that work specifically for you, man, the more grounded, you can get back into your power a lot more quickly. And now that collective energy isn't in my field anymore. I'm not feeling the anxious or the worry or the lack. It wasn't even mine. So I've given it back to the collective. I've cleared, I've grounded. And if you all are interested in even just like a 1 or 2 day masterclass around embracing your empath, learning how to manage being an empath, learning basic energy hygiene, energy clearing, learning how to tap into whether it's collective energy or not, and those kinds of things. If you're interested in that, would you please send me a quick DM on Instagram or an email, info@amberproof.ca. Let me know, because I've been debating creating a like even just a starter masterclass around this, because if it can help you learn how to manage this stuff yourself and give you more peace of mind and embrace being an empath, because it is a gift, but it can feel like a lot in the beginning when you don't know how to manage it. Like, I want to do so. So please give me your feedback. I would love to hear from you, because I would love to teach it if it feels resonant and there's enough interest in it. It is our birthright, and is something that we're going to be stepping more into as this evolution and ascension continues to happen. And I think the collective energy is going to stay loud for a while. So the more we can manage our energy, the better. I started with a new client last week, and she's lovely. And she's just, the theme and what I got from the end of the session is like, we need to get you grounded. And so we started integrating. I gave her some recommendations. She even messaged me the next day. She's like, I already feel more grounded, right? I'm doing these things to take care of myself. I'm going to like bring in these things to like manage my energy. She's like, I'm already feeling more in my power. And sometimes, we just need these reminders and this guidance or support, because when we get really in our head and really analytical and our energy, we're really feel out of our body, or we feel disconnected. It can feel so hard to get grounded, because our nervous system's so ramped up and our ego gets really loud. So the more ungrounded we are, the more overwhelmed we feel emotionally, physically, the louder the ego is. So part of this healing, and one of the reasons I'm always talking about the ego and regulating your nervous system, is because those are integral, vital parts of getting grounded, being able to deeply access your intuition and go further with that. So that's something that I want to offer if it's of interest to you. So I shifted the energy. We are energy. We have these energy fields, and all these invisible junk things can get stuck in them. And it's no one's fault. It's just what is. So learning how to manage it is really important. And so the more I process through these emotions, when discomfort comes up and I allow myself to work through it, rather than going, no, I just need to feel good, because that's not realistic. You're human. You're going to feel things. The more I go, this is okay. I'm safe. It's uncomfortable, but I'm going to be okay. And I use my tools, or I'm vulnerable with my lovely, lovely hubby, who's just, honestly, I'm like, how did you come onto this planet and just know how to be so amazing to me without like anything but your heart? Like, I'm just so grateful, because there's been a lot of vulnerability this year. Like, I remember last year around this time, like I felt like I had to just always talk about success in my business. And, I didn't ever want to talk about that I'm a human too. And sometimes I know everything's always going to be okay and that I'm divinely supported. But sometimes I'm like, well, what if one day it just all ends? Or what if one day no one else comes forth? Or what if one day, like, whatever? And I know that none of that is going to happen, because I'm here to be of service. But like, I have to be honest, like, I've had the odd time where that happens. I think everybody does that has a business. Like it's, anyways, and 10 years this year in business, in August, we'll have to have a big party online for that and celebrate. I can't believe it. But like, I started to talk to him about that. And I'm like, I have this fear of like being fully vulnerable, because I don't want you to worry, because you have a full-time business and I don't want you to worry. So there's like this protective thing, this, I guess, some control around not wanting to, right? Like, worry him and his business, and like, and it's like, it's fine. Like, he's always so open and sharing things. And I'm like, wow, you make it look so easy. And so I start opening up and being vulnerable and sharing, right? Like, if I'm having stress in business, or like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know, but just it just started to come up and out. And the next thing you know, we're having the most deeply vulnerable conversations around business and money and like our upbringings and relationships with money and all of these different things. And now it's just so easy. But there was tears and there was, crying and like just moments of like, oh my gosh, like this just feels really uncomfortable, feeling vulnerable and just fully opening up. And I feel like it just came from this place of upbringing and just, you be tough and have it together and everything, just move forward. And so this part of my inner child got to open up and be so well received and supported. And obviously my parents are very supportive, a very supportive father who always was there and believed in me. But there was just some resistance that I had to release and let go of control and surrender to being vulnerable. It's uncomfortable being vulnerable until we start to do it more. And the more we do it, the easier it does get. Like I feel I'm very vulnerable on the podcast. You guys know so much about me and all the things that I've been through, but there's reason for that. I want you to know you're not alone. I'm human too. I think we need to not put people on pedestals. Whoever you're hiring to support you to food and body freedom, whoever your business coach is, whoever you are, like, we need to stop. Like, no one's any better than everyone else. Everyone has a different set of knowledge and gifts, which is incredible, but we are all just as worthy and valuable and full of light. It's just us being willing to believe and remember that for ourselves. But I'm human and I go through the same insecurities and the same emotions as everyone else does. And I think that's so important for us all to remember, and that it's safe to feel. And then it is a game changer and life-changing to have the tools and have the self-care practices and support sometimes to help us through certain seasons or struggles or expansion or whatever it is, healing. And I'm so grateful for my self-care tools because they always help me through. And obviously having amazing support systems. Like, I'm so grateful for Phil, my lovely love. He's just amazing. And I'm just beyond blessed to have such an incredible man by my side, so supportive, and vice versa. He's always like, I'm so proud of us. I'm so grateful for us. We express a lot of gratitude for each other, which I think is really important, and always encouraging each other. And, it's incredible because he started a business 6.5 years ago and went full time almost 3 years ago, and had just moved into a beautiful new shop and is expanding. And I'm just like, I'm so proud of you. And he's just like, I couldn't have done it without you. He's like, you inspired me with your business. And it's so incredible to witness someone starting something from nothing and to just see the growth and the expansion. And like, he's still like, I'm just getting started. Like, it's so cool. And that you can have that understanding and that support of each other, I think is just so valuable, to have that support system and people that really love and care for you. You can be open with and talk to about anything. That is key. And, through this letting go of control and learning to trust and being more vulnerable, it's really taught me over and over again, because sometimes I still have to look for proof, and that's my ego, because there's still a bit of lack of trust there. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, the universe fully has my back. And then there's days where I'm like, does the universe fully? And I'm like doubting, and I'm like, stop. Yes, of course the universe has your back. And there's certain lessons you're here to go through. And 333, there's my sign from the universe. Right. But I think everything that I've gone through this year, and it's just mostly been like internal, like ego versus heart stuff with trust and like clearing out more money stories and healing more of my relationship with money, just how it used to be with food and body. And I did an episode on that a while ago around like chasing numbers and relationship with money. And it's been profound. Money's teaching me a lot. My business is teaching me a lot more mastery with ego and power and being grounded and trusting. And it is a blessing. Some days it's like, oh my gosh, can it just be easy? But when we're in mastery and we're up leveling, it's not going to necessarily always be easy. But this need for control comes from fear. It comes from lack. It comes from, right, when you're taught control and you're taught lack when you're dieting, and then you're binge eating and you're overdoing it. When we don't trust our bodies, when we don't trust we can heal, when we don't trust we can overcome something, right? We go into grasping for control, usually over external things, people, circumstances, food, money, body sizes, clothing sizes, when what's so important is for us to go inside and learn how to manage our minds and master the ego and learn how to live more in our power, to understand our thoughts and beliefs and how they dictate our behaviors, and to actually work on that. And while we're working on that, we can support your physical body, your bloating, your low energy, your hormone and gut issues, your cravings and blood sugar issues, right? We can work on those. We can help you understand what's triggering you to self-sabotage with food. We can help you understand where your body image triggers came from. And we can work on inner child wounding and all these different things. But a lot of it starts in the mind, because it's the mind and the thoughts and beliefs that then dictate our frequency, right? And our energy vibration. And that's then what we're putting out that then we manifest. And so it's not that you can never think a negative thought or a negative emotion. You're human, it's going to happen. But where I'm coming from and what my message really is here is that it's so important for us to learn how to manage our ego and live more in our power, because the more in our power, the more relaxed and expanded our field stays. And it's so much easier to manifest from that state. And then we get contracted, which does happen. And then we have to work a little bit to get back open to receive and have that manifesting channel open. But it's a lot easier when we're in a state of expansion and power than when we're in lack and need and chasing or fear or judging or comparing. So we are very powerful. I just want to remind you that you are super powerful. And this year has taught me deeper trust, deeper faith, deeper surrender, vulnerability. It's safe to be vulnerable, that I'm so, so supported in my relationship by the universe, by all of you, like the tens of thousands of downloads that come every month, all of you that are listening, the tens of thousands of listeners. Like, I'm beyond grateful for all of you. Like, I some days don't even have the words. I'm just like, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're listening. I hope you're getting value and you're taking a lot away. And I hope this is helping you on your healing journey. And for those of you, obviously, it's always such a blessing when someone books a body freedom consultation and I look to see how they found me, and it's like podcasts. Obviously, it's a blessing regardless of where you come from. I've had some, people who have referred, like clients who've referred people, and like people who've had their friends refer. And I'm just so beyond blessed for however you find me. But when I see the podcast, I'm like, oh, they've been listening to the podcast, because I'm always sitting here wondering, I wonder who's listening. I would love to meet all of you. Right? Like, it doesn't matter how long I've had my business. I have the same curiosities, and I always want the same thing: for you to heal, for you to know you're not alone, and for you to know how powerful you are, and that you are, you have big purpose here on this planet, regardless of what it is. And the inner healing is going to help you identify that more easily and to help you live more in it and just live the most incredible quality of life, because you have the peace with body and your food. And I think, it's just the blessing to be here and to be of service. And it's really taught me that I love being of service, and I love like receiving the abundance and the money, but richness is in happiness. It's in the gratitude of the present moment. It's like the littlest things that make me happy, like going out on the deck and watering my pansies, because I love pansies. It's my favorite flower. And like, they're all smiling at you and you can't help but smile. And then we've had the ducks. We have all these cute animals that come into our yard. We've had bunnies, we have red-winged blackbirds, we've had all different kinds of birds. And then we had ducks, like the mallard and the hen. You'll have to go look. The male has the dark green head, and the female is like brown, and she has some blue and white in her wings. But they have been coming here and eating the seed off the ground, because the little birds go into our feeder and they like flick the seed on the ground. And then the feeder, we call it the feedy. It's like empty in like a day because they flick it all on the ground. But then it's great because the bunnies and the ducks come in. It's so great. But it's like the simplicity, like nature, observing nature and how divine nature is and how they just surrender. They don't try to control, right, or anything. They just allow, like, watch a tree and the wind blows it. It doesn't resist it, right? The leaf floating down the creek doesn't go, oh, nope, not going to go that way. I'm going to pick myself up and go over here. It just allows. And I think we can learn so much from nature and just, observe it and take more of that on. And so to me, it's like I'm so grateful and appreciative for money and abundance and everything that my relationship with money is teaching me. And it's really teaching me gratitude. Like, no matter how much is in my bank account, gratitude. Happiness is the moment. Nothing external can make me happy. It's my responsibility to cultivate it inside of myself. And yes, having a roof over your head, having basic needs met, et cetera, it helps with safety, and it does help amplify your quality of life. And I do think money in some ways can amplify our quality of life. However, it's really teaching me the richness of the moment and how abundant the moment gets to be if we choose to make it. Even as I talk, it just feels so good to share this with you all, because it's just been invaluable learning for me, and to really just appreciate everything. Like I usually eat really slow, but I feel like I've slowed down even more, enjoying the presence in the moment. Like, or when we go to a nice restaurant or we go on a little trip, just like taking it in even more. I just feel like I'm absorbing all aspects of the present moment on an even deeper level, and just savoring the memories on a deeper level, the interactions, the people, the circumstances, and just it's like this ascension is just opening all of these parts of me up so that I can experience them on a deeper level. And it's incredible. It's hard to describe. Maybe you can resonate with what I'm sharing, but the more you use your tools to help you regulate your nervous system and get grounded and get more out of your head, the more open and available you are to receive the present moment and feel the richness and the abundance of the present moment. And that's really what this year is teaching me and continuing to teach me. And that, like, change is one of the only constants and things we're guaranteed. And that, the way that I coached and shared and sold and pitched and everything I did 8, 9, 10 years ago, it's different now. And people want the intimacy, people want vulnerability, people want the real life. Right. And so easing into that, because obviously in the new year, I started talking about how I'm going to be more open, I'm going to be more honest, and I'm not going to hold back anymore. And, sharing more things that are on my heart and my beliefs and truths. And it's felt so good to open up into all of that. The more vulnerable I am, the more at peace I am with myself. When we hold back, we resent ourselves, and that really drops our frequency, and we block ourselves, and we don't want to do that. So I really encourage you to, like, be open and to share your truths and to, do your healing, because the more confident you feel, the more in your power you feel, the easier it is to actually be vulnerable, to speak your truth, to share. Because I know if I felt as insecure as I did 14 years ago, and I have so much love for that, Amber, but if I did, I would not share any of this. I wouldn't have this business. I wouldn't be doing anything I am, because I'd be too afraid of what other people thought of me. Right. And so I think it's so important to let all of that go. And we're seeing an uprising all over the planet of people standing up for humanity's greatest good. And it takes courage and it takes bravery. And it doesn't matter to me to what level you're doing it, whether it's just for yourself or one person or a million people. This is, the awakening and the ascension. And this is why we came here, to really have a positive impact on humanity and change a lot and shine a lot of the light on the dark. And so the vulnerability piece has been, it's been vulnerable, but it's been very important. So I encourage you to try and practice being a little more vulnerable, right? Put yourself out there a little bit more. You're safe. It just feels uncomfortable, and the discomfort will pass. And you just feel so much more at home being yourself. It just feels so good. Like, I'm so excited for some of my upcoming guests on the podcast. We're going to go deep into some stuff, and I think you're really going to like it. And it just feels so good to not be like, oh, I don't know should I edit that part of the podcast out? Because what if I upset some of the listeners? And it's like, no, it's all coming out, and I have no control, and not everyone's going to love me and like me. And that's also okay. Because I'm not here to people please, right? Because when you have a business, you sometimes want to people please, and it's like, no, I come with love. The door is open, but I'm not going to change who I am to appease anybody. And that's so important to get to that place. So I want that for you. Power, love, respect, gratitude, right? Intuition, all of this. So this is all this year's teaching me. I feel like it's continuing. I feel like there's still more deeper trust and faith and surrender for me to continue to master. And as I do so, I will share with you the energy practices, the regulating of the nervous system, the talking about it. It's just felt so therapeutic, even sharing with you on the show today. Where else can I surrender control and trust more and allow life to happen, allow life to take the wheel? This is what we're playing in, and this is what's going to continue to unfold more and more. So many things I've been taught this year. That is what I wanted to share with you. And what I want to leave you with is, wherever you are in your cycle of this year, whatever age you are, like, what are you learning this year? What is this year teaching you? What are you going through? What do you want to celebrate that you're proud of? What are you struggling with? What are you, wanting to work through and be free of? Maybe you want to pause and do a journal prompt and write those things down right now and explore. And if any of you want to share with me, I'm always so happy to receive you and listen and hear what's going on for you, because we're all on the journey, right? And when I had Blossom on the podcast, which was such a blessing, she's so lovely. Blossom Goodchild, she has her YouTube channel. You can go and listen, right? In the channelings, and like she said, like our souls volunteered to come here. We got picked, all of us. We're the strongest of the strong. We came down here to help uplift this planet, and you are so much more powerful than you can even fathom. And so I just want to remind you of that today, as Blossom and the Federation of Light always do. And that sometimes a little bit or a lot of healing can help us remember that. And I would have never remembered how powerful I am. And I don't mean like control power, like the crap greed in the world. I mean like in your heart and in love. And I know you can feel that energy as I talk. But the more in your power you feel, the more at home you feel. And that is, we're love, we're light, we're here to spread both of those things. And it's not wishy-washy. It's the truth. Of higher our frequency, the more we can positively impact the planet. And that is everything right now. So take some time and journal on those questions I just asked you. And, then ask yourself, how would it feel to live more in my power, more grounded, more in a state of love, compassion, gratitude, appreciation, to be able to see what I'm going through and actually go, that this is happening for me to help me evolve, expand, clear out what doesn't serve me, right? That it's a gift actually to be going through this ascension, even though it's got its ups and downs. And that there's so much healing available for us here. That's why we come to Earth. It's a school, and we come to learn to love ourselves and do a lot of healing. And that's why we're here, right? That's what I think anyway. I know everyone has their different thoughts about it, and it's okay. So just want to give the friendly reminder that if you are loving what I'm talking about and you're wanting to connect, I know I've had some of you lately, which has been really cool, who have reached out. We've had a consultation, and you're like, I reached out because you're talking about the ascension, you're talking about the Great Awakening. I feel like you can help me manage my energy, right? All of these things. And I want your support specifically because of what you've been sharing, and I'm here for it. And at the same time, regardless of beliefs and thoughts and things like that, like it doesn't matter what page someone's on. I'm here to be of service and be of support. So whatever it is that you feel you need, I'm totally here to help guide you and support you on your journey to food and body freedom. So the one-on-one coaching sale is still available. And then the online store, everything is 50% off. I think there's like 9 masterclasses. Oh yeah. And the Body Freedom membership is also 50% off. So whether you want to come in for a month, which is 50% off, 22 USD instead of 44, amazing deal. And then the 3-month or 6-month are also 50% off. So that's also a smoking deal. Food Prep Magic Bundle, Freedom from Emotional Eating, Hormone Harmony Self-Study, which is all about hormones. Everything is 50% off. So you can go to the store, amberproof.ca, click the birthday sale banner, or go to the show notes like I talked about earlier. Use code AMBER, all caps 36. It's all one word at checkout, as many times as you like. And like I said, each purchase gets you the opportunity to get entered into the draw to win a one-on-one coaching session with me for 45 minutes. And that will be picked at the end of the sale. And then, of course, stay tuned, but there's going to be a couple other birthday drops that are going to be really fun that you won't want to miss. So I can't wait for more. Stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed this episode. The show notes can be found at amberproof.ca/podcast/424. Go to amberproof.ca for the birthday sale, to book your body freedom consultation, and of course, take the free emotional eating quiz if you wonder if you are struggling. Have a beautiful day, a great week. I may drop a quick little pep talk podcast for Wednesday, just see where you're at, give you a little check-in, cheer you on. Otherwise, I'm sending you so much love. I hope you have an amazing day, amazing week, and I look forward to the next episode. Take care.